All right, hey, before we get into today's show and we talk about the Bears-Vikings game, I want to tell you guys, yes, the stadium was great. One of the best parts of the stadium, they served Miller Lite.
It was a 9.7 Miller Lite, perfect temperature. Just had like the Vikings logo on the cup. Otherwise, it would have been a 10.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was great. The only thing bad about it was on like a Vikings tap. But like,
yeah.
Whatever. I get it. It's the home field advantage for them. It was awesome. They we had really nice seats, and so shout out to Game Time, and we were able to just get just Miller Lite when we pleased.
Mm-hmm. They were free.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome.
Nice. I didn't realize that we were walking into free Miller Lites tonight at US Bank Stadium, and I bought one, and even the ticket teller lady gave me guff for it.
Yeah.
She's like, you could have gotten all the Miller Lites you wanted for free in here. I'm like, that's why I like Minnesota.
Yeah, but you're like, yeah, well, I don't mind paying for it either because it's so good.
That is true.
Good.
That is true.
Like, obviously, not a great time as far as the game goes, but it was a great time because of Miller Lite. So, from family gatherings, going to the game, Miller Lite's your beer. So, making memories at year-end gatherings tastes like Miller time. Go to MillerLite.com/midshow to find delivery options near you. Or you could pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere that they sell beer. Tastes like Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories per 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces. Fewer calories and carbs and premium regular beer. On that note, welcome to the show. This is The Stretch. Bears got absolutely trounced by the Minnesota Vikings on Monday Night Football. If you're watching on video, it's just myself, Eddie. We have Dave here, and we have Chief. Big Cat's not on this episode. Because he was smart and he didn't come to this trip, and we're dumb.
We're dumb.
Yeah, we're not dumb, but we're
This sounded like a great idea in August.
It's like, let's go there. Yeah. That'll be a week where we're fighting for a playoff spot.
Yeah. Max Struz DM me. He's like, "Why are you guys at this game?" I was like,
"Yeah, dude." Yeah,
watching Hard Knocks at summer camp, I was like, this will be great.
Yeah, no, exactly. So, yeah, it was brutal. We're going to get into it. I did ask Big Cat to, leave us a voicemail. Let's get into it. I do want to say as well, I know we left off last episode saying we're going to come up with our ideas about Arlington because this podcast is just going to turn into a bitch fest. We will push that to next week or sometime. We will get to it. It's just not the best timing with us traveling, and it's a late episode. And it's literally like
it's 11:30 right now.
Exactly, and it's a brutal week because the holidays are coming up, and I don't know. All Barstool is like under duress at this point.
Yeah.
So here's Dan's voicemail, and let's just get to it.
Hey guys, it's Big Cat. I'm calling from underneath my covers right now. All over the weather, so I took some NyQuil, trying to pass out and forget everything that happened. I honestly just hope that I fought myself to death like a Dutch oven under here. That was, even though I knew it was going to be painful, that was so painful. I was so sick of this franchise. I'm so sick of this team. I don't really know what to say other than thank God I was smart enough to not go to this game because guess what? I've been to that game before. I was at the game when Itch was a rookie and we finished the season in Minnesota. John Fox's year that he got fired, basically the exact same game 10 years ago. So I've been there. I knew it, and I knew not to go. I'm getting smarter, so that part is good. Everything sucks. There's no way out. This franchise is a joke. Virginia McCaskey is talking everlasting. She's going to live literally forever, and nothing's ever going to change. And we're going to be having the same conversation next year. And I don't know what else to say. Other than I just hope I die in my sleep tonight. All right. See you guys tomorrow.
There you go. I hope she dies in her sleep tonight because of how bad the Bears are.
That was dark. I hope he doesn't.
No, I hope he doesn't either. But I would say too, like one phrase he said in that voicemail, "There's no way out." I'm kind of getting there.
Yeah.
With that same feeling. I'm kind of getting there with that same feeling. I honestly want to ask Dave. And listen. Yeah, Jerry's a worse owner. But by how much?
Oh, Jerry's the worst by far.
But by how much?
I
think Jerry, come on, you can't even make the comparison. Jerry knows exactly what he's doing.
Right.
Virginia and George, they're nice. I'm sure Jerry, I've heard he's likable in his own great, and everybody likes him. Blah blah blah. what he's doing, that's calculated. What he did in 94 is very calculated in baseball history. Like, that's documented. Like, he was spearheaded that 94 strike. White Sox were the best team in baseball that year. He has actively hurt the White Sox.
I think that makes him a better owner. Like the Bears, I do think that they, in their way, set out to be good and they don't know how.
No, they have no fucking clue how.
Right, they have no idea. I do think they're cheap. And
but
Jerry's like,
it's different
we'll
because
be
they're all
purpose.
like in football. It's all a level playing field for the most part.
Yeah,
and the Bears. I mean, they should have every built-in advantage.
You would think.
You would think on top of it. It's not even. Jerry Reinsdorf's one of the absolute worst owners in all sports. Not that the McCaskies aren't one of the worst in football, but
I think the McCaskies are more incompetent than Jerry because Jerry
Reinsdorf is
doing
a
this by
shrewd,
design.
Good businessman. Yeah,
right.
He's doing this like this is intentional.
Calculated.
Right.
Yes.
Which makes the McCaskies worse in my head.
I don't think this. No, that doesn't make it worse. Like if
I think
like
you got to hear
first degree. It's first degree murder versus second degree murder.
Sure. That's a fair analogy, but Jerry is successfully doing what he set out to do. Where I don't think the Bears are
You're
doing that.
looking at it from Jerry Reinsdorf's perspective. Yes, it's perfect for Jerry Reinsdorf.
Correct. He is. I'm not saying he's good. He's a terrible owner.
He
I would
is
be,
Satan.
Yes. Yes.
What's funny?
It's just like the way you said that was.
There was nothing funny about it.
But I do think that in a way that makes the Bears owners they're worse at being owners because they are trying and failing so miserably. Where Jerry's like, we're going to be bad on purpose. And
Yeah, like I think Chief's making a good argument.
And
but that's kind of what I was getting at.
I'm talking about it from the fans' perspective. Like
I hear you.
And I acknowledge that Jerry's worse, but
Yes.
I'm like, I want to know the gap.
Right. I do think if Jerry, like, he's getting up there in age, I think if he flipped the switch in his head being like, you know what, I want one more, that he would be able to do it.
he could snap his fingers and have any player.
I agree.
Yes,
I agree. So
Yes.
I think that I think Jerry Sneaky knows how to have a good baseball team and chooses not to, where the Bears want to have a good football team and fail over and over. And they fail in the same way.
every
The
single
same
fuck,
way,
and it's
the same-
happening again right before our eyes.
Right.
It's but like
I
I have this hope and this dream. Like I know Poles is very much he's got a target on his back in Chicago right now. Obviously Eberflus is gone. The McCaskies aren't going anywhere, not for at least a little bit. I have this hope and dream that Ryan Poles can go and all you got to do is get a couple linemen because that changes everything. I think, of course, you got to hire the right guy at coach and everything. But I'm watching now Sam Darnold tonight. I'm starting to correct myself at least. I'm starting to correct myself.
It's that
at
one
least.
catcher from the Mets that you keep like
Sam
Darnold.
Is that true though? Do you say that because of Travis Darnold?
Maybe.
I think he does.
That's his theory.
Yeah.
Darnold.
You had something to
Darnold.
say. I could see it.
Darnold, dude.
Darnold.
I know what it is.
What were you going to say, Eddie? What were you going to
No,
say?
hold on. I watch him throw tonight, and he's just sitting in the pocket. He got hit a decent amount tonight, but like he scans the field like he isn't anticipating pressure. Caleb Williams, even though he's trying not to, like he knows he's going to get decapitated every fucking time he drops back. And if he isn't like that next year, he's going to be awesome. He's going to be a top 5 or 6 quarterback. I swear it's right there. It's right there.
Dave, for you to utter the words that were a couple linemen away after what we saw the last 2 weeks, I think is very naive.
Okay, well, you have
think it's extremely
right to,
naive.
even though he has been fucking bad. I think I don't know if he's been bad per se, but for a first round pick, he's been a disappointment. Darnell Wright, he's been a disappointment. I think I'm ready to say that because he has not been that great.
Do you agree with me?
What? Go ahead, you can finish.
I'm in the Fire Poles camp now. I think it's a lot worse than a couple of linemen.
And I don't blame you. And I think anybody who even is like, because there's case A, there's case B, there's case against Poles, case for Poles. If anybody is to the point where they're so diehard Poles where they would pass up on a Vrabel because Vrabel would want his guy, you're an idiot.
I agree.
I got to
agree.
be honest with you. That should be listen, Ryan Poles, just from what we saw from Hard Knocks, seems like a fucking sweetheart of a guy.
I agree. Yeah, I
Seems
like
a,
him.
A genuinely nice person. I like him as a guy. But if it push came to shove and Brable's like, yeah, I just want my guy.
Yeah.
And that's a
or if
sticking
Vrabel
point.
wants to do it himself.
And we stick with Poles because of that. That's a gross mistake.
I agree.
Lance brought up a great question today. He's asked me, he's like, is Ryan Pace, was he better than Ryan Poles? And at this point,
He's more successful.
he's had more success in terms of wins and losses for
Yeah,
sure.
he had 7 years, I believe. He had a lot of time. He had a lot more time.
Yeah, because
Poles
he
only
hired
3.
John Fox too, didn't
Yes,
he?
Yeah.
exactly. He Pace was with the Bears for a while.
Yeah,
That's
you
crazy.
I forgot that did he hire Fox?
I believe he did, dude.
Yeah, he
I
did,
believe
yeah.
he did hire
Okay,
Fox.
I didn't
yeah.
know if he inherited Fox.
No,
Yeah,
he did.
I think Pace got 7 years, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
He did 3 of Fox and then 4 of Nagy.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure Pace. So that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a big difference, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know how you can sit there. And I know he slow played it. Like he didn't do much the first year. It didn't, but
That was an intentional teardown.
for sure. It was
Yeah.
intentional. But like he just did not do near enough this year.
And I think he he is an offensive lineman, and the thing that it's all hindsight. I was very excited about Rome. I was very excited about Keenan Allen. You just can't build teams from the outside.
No, you can't.
No.
And that, you learned that very
Yeah.
much the hard way this year.
Yeah.
And we had not a big argument. We had a debate in the seats today because obviously, no mistake, Karan looked horrible.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is like I forgot exactly how I put it, but I was like, this is another blame on Poles.
And Karan's terrible. Okay, he was awful. I'm not willing to be like this 22-year-old kid who had no training camp and missed the first several games, and he was coming off of an injury and he's a backup. Like a lot of backup struggle. I think almost that the talent jump from going from Yale in the Ivy League to the NFL playing left tackle against the Minnesota Vikings with no training camp is impossible.
While-
I think it is possible that he becomes a serviceable lineman.
I get your argument there, and my argument was a third rounder is a third rounder,
And
that's
a
high
third
pick.
rounder should be able to step in and not look like that.
And then
I don't know.
I don't
about
care
a left
where you
tackle.
come-
having a shoulder.
That
Pace drafted him
that
knowingly
bad?
having that shoulder injury.
Yeah,
you
fine.
know. So that's all on Pace as well. Poles, not
Poles,
Pace
yeah.
in my head.
Yeah.
So you're right. It's not a blunt. And listen, it's
So early.
it's not even the bottom of the first yet. On
Right.
Karan yet.
Yeah.
You're right. But it's not a Chase Claypool type blemish, but it's looking like the eraser is faintly starting to go over.
And we'll see. And I'm sure there's other serviceable rookies who were drafted in the third round. Like I can't say that I had an opinion on anybody drafted really in the third round. But it's just this is like another thing where I'm starting to get nervous about polls, where and we've talked about this before, where it's like how he likes this guy, what was it, Northern Utah, Southern Utah, Braxton Jones.
Southern Utah,
And then
yeah.
he's like, I'm going to find a guy from Yale. And it's like, I feel like I saw this a lot with Stan Bowman. Like, we're going to draft Lucas Reichel out of Germany. We're going to be the smartest guys in the room.
Just
Take the fucking SEC guys. And, there's a reason why there's a gazillion of them.
For sure.
For sure. So that part, I think that's like a character flaw where people want to be, they want to be cute instead of good.
Yeah, they want to find the diamonds in the rough.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
something to that for sure.
But
So on that note, I'm not even going to try to pronounce his last name, but
Karan. Yeah.
A third round pick can't step in and look as bad as he's looked
I
under
mean, he
any
was-
circumstance.
And, like,
he
listen-
looks like he looks like a Division III tackle against Alabama.
he was revolving door bad.
Yes,
Like
Yeah.
he was Jamarcus Webb type shit.
that
After
bad.
that
Yeah.
first
Yes.
Caleb hit, I was like, it's like the line from Friday Night Lights, the movie, was like, I hope we just take all these boys home.
Yeah.
Because Caleb got absolutely fucking murdered on that.
Well, we all looked at each other. We're like, get him out. Put
I
him in
guess.
agent because this is
Yeah.
not like how I want to see this go down. And now he's getting memed to fucking death from like leaning sideways on the bench. I don't know what he was doing, but he's probably thinking about life. He's in a fucking dome stadium with a bunch of people wearing white saying skull and getting his dick blown in. I don't know where he's
In a
at,
bad
man.
way.
And I'm like seriously worried about him.
Yeah.
I really am.
And he was probably, when he's keeled over like that, he's probably in fucking pain. He's probably exhausted.
Fuck yeah,
dude.
he is.
Right. So, And then there's the one where he got hit.
Yeah,
He took an absolute fucking shot. It was either earlier in the fourth or the third, and he just like another meme where he looked dead. He just laid on the field like arms at his side, like staring up the ceiling, and he looked like a dead body.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's unfortunate.
It's.
I will say, I have tremendous respect for his like physical toughness because he gets hit over and over and over, and he just keeps playing.
He's not like a Justin Fields where he's a smaller end quarterback, you know?
Yeah. Like Justin Fields could play tight end.
Exactly.
Dude,
exactly.
I think top to bottom, Caleb's been impressive. Like
Yeah.
what he says,
He's been
like he's
awesome.
never thrown anyone like everyone's like, oh, character concern. Like he's gonna be crying. Like,
Suck
dude,
my fucking
not
dick.
at all, dude.
No,
like I like this guy. He's still
too.
my guy. I'm just worried that we're gonna fuck him up, and he deserves better.
I would say at this point of the season, what is this week? There's 3 games left after.
Yeah.
At this, I think it's very safe to say that he's a very good quarterback, and the Bears are probably going to fuck him up. I think that's a safe assumption at this.
Yeah, I mean, we have no reason, literally no reason to believe that we're gonna fix him. And that's unfortunate to say.
Well, and I'm pretty confident. This sucks. I'm pretty confident they're gonna fuck up this coaching search.
Yeah, dude.
You know, so
Yeah, I don't
Which
trust
fucks him
Warren.
up, of
I don't
course,
obviously don't trust fucking Pink Vest George.
dude,
That's what I'm saying. Like that guy, I can hate Jerry Reinsdorf, that evil character from like Space Jam. You know, the Jerry Krause.
Yeah.
What was his name in Space Jam?
I don't know.
But I can hate that man. Like George McCaskey, I watch him in his little pink. I can't.
He's a fucking doofus.
He's a dink.
Yeah.
It's brutal. Let's pause for a second and talk about Pop-Tarts. I was just thinking about, you guys remember that Pop-Tarts
bowl
bowl?
game.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
get the edible mascot. And they're doing it again this year. They also released their trophy. Did you guys see that?
No.
Their trophy is a toaster.
Oh, that's awesome. That's
Dude,
perfect.
I tweeted.
Wait, 4-slot or 2-slot?
2-slot. It's
Nice.
a 2-slot trophy.
Nice.
I immediately tweeted, I was like, that's a top 10 trophy already.
Yeah.
Functional,
Oh, yeah.
functionability, right?
Yep.
Like functionality. It's just
Just plug it in.
it's a big time toaster.
You could give that to someone for their wedding.
Yeah, exactly. It's a great great trophy.
registry.
So this year they're gonna have 3 Pop-Tarts. 3 Pop-Tart mascots enter, 1 gets eaten. So who knows which one it's gonna be. So tune in and check out to see which Pop-Tart flavor is gonna get eaten at the Pop-Tarts Bowl. Mark your calendars. 2024 Pop-Tarts Bowl kicks off December 28th at 3:30 p.m. Eastern on ABC. 2 teams, 3 edible mascots in a packed Camping World Stadium in Orlando. Catch all the crazy good moments and get a sneak peek of each mascot by following at Pop-Tarts US and at Pop-Tarts Bowl on social and visiting poptarts.com/bowl. This year, Pop-Tarts is bringing more flavor, more fun, and a whole lot of excitement. Don't miss it. Also want to talk to you guys about Chevy Drive Chicago. Listen, it's already a holiday season. Your local Chevy dealer has everything you want for your wish list. A new SUV or an Equinox EV, Chevy is the gift that you want and need. Find your local Chevy dealer at ChevyDriveChicago.com today. If you're not shopping for a new car and you just need to make sure your car is safe and weather ready for the season, your local Chevy dealer service center is the place to go.
Chief, does your car need any service right now?
Yeah, actually it does. Actually it does.
Not Chevy's fault, though.
Not
Explain
Chevy's
that.
I'm
fault.
glad you brought this up.
Explain that.
So
Chief got a little fender bender, no big whoop.
yeah, I got this idiot ran into my driver's side door. They were trying to zip around and they scraped up my whole driver's side dent, whatever. So I called the people, Chevy Drive Chicago. They were so helpful. They're going to get me in probably this week before Christmas, take care of it, file, I have to file the insurance claim, and it's going to be fine. So they can do, they have a lot of the dealerships have body work that they'll do. All of them have a service center. The customer service with Chevy is second to none. Mm-hmm. So Chevy Drive Chicago. Now I'm in a bad spot because of this idiot on Addison Avenue.
Tough.
Yeah.
Always find your local dealer at ChevyDriveChicago.com, the official truck partner of the Chicago Bears. Continuing on, another one of my main takeaways here was that, and listen, obviously this is personal because we just went to the game, but still, thousands of Bears fans were in the stadium today, and thousands of Bears fans go on the road to watch all these games. It is so brutal having to be ashamed of your team. to the point where you can't even say anything to people. They just feel bad for you, and they look at you like, "Oh man, sorry."
I want to be hated.
Yeah, not even just have friendly banter. Be like, "Hey, I think we're gonna get you today."
Yeah.
There was none of that. There was none of, "Oh, in town for the game." Yep, it's gonna suck. Not for you, but for us.
Yeah.
Not at all, bro. Like that's just
That game was never in doubt.
never.
Never in doubt.
There was like a slight thing. I was like, "Hey, the Vikings aren't making the most of their opportunities. It's only 10-0."
Yeah.
It's like, don't worry. Give them time. They'll get there. But
10 was enough.
Yeah, I mean, there was it was
Just about, yeah.
But as bad as the Bears played in that first half, they didn't score in the first half, right?
13-0.
And they punched the ball in from it was 13-7 game for a split second. You know,
Well, they had first and goal from the 1 and got nothing.
and got nothing. And it ended up being first and goal from like the 25 by the end of that.
Yeah, and they kicked a field goal third quarter.
They're fucking
they
losers.
fucking stink. But yeah, I mean it is. And then it's like you go there and you see like that's a good football team, a first class stadium. Stadium was awesome. All the little details, the big windows, seats were our seats were fucking awesome. And then when they blow in the snow, like they did that several times throughout the game. Like that's a nice little touch. And it wasn't Mickey Mouse at all. It was just like, we're up here in the north with all these stupid Vikings yelling skull in unison with the big drum and the horn after every first down. I'm like, this is what it must feel like to be a fan of a real football team.
Yeah.
Like, that's a real football team. That's a real organization. It's not a surprise that they're 12-2.
not at all.
And they got a real coach.
I know. And you just look at the division. Obviously, the Lions lost a tough one this week, but they
Yeah.
lost to the
Yeah,
Bills,
I mean, that's
who are
like, yeah.
very well come out of the AFC, but the Packers fucking poured it on the Seahawks.
Yeah.
Vikings poured. Like, they just,
Dude.
these teams, they are so far ahead of us, man.
I actually feel bad for the Lions because I think they have 14 guys on IR now, including Monty went on IR today.
Yeah, that
So-
sucks.
But like that, like you're right. Like all those teams, they are light years ahead of the Bears. Light years. So it's not a couple of linemen.
The Lions have lost a lot of guys. Their best players.
I just said 14 guys on
Is
IR.
it- I thought that was an exaggerated number. I wasn't.
14.
That's
No.
insane. I had
Yeah.
no. I thought you were just throwing a number
Dude, their
out
whole
there.
defense is
Yeah,
like,
their whole defense.
So they
yeah.
and who's a defensive tackle that went on IR today too, but they signed him to a monster extension in October, and then they signed Monty a week later. This week, both of them out for the year. So it's like
Monty, I saw his season over-under total was 776 yards by DraftKings, and he ended the season at 775. That's a bad beat for if you had the over on Monty.
That's
this year.
terrible.
Yeah.
That's tough. But yeah, Lions 12-2, Vikings 12-2, Packers 10-4, Bears 4-10. I cannot it's hard to go back in my brain and to rewind it all the way to what was
Jacksonville or
it? Yeah, October.
They were 4-2.
Yeah.
Dude, they're 4-2. We it was
And
like,
then they
it was
lost
like
the
11
Patriots in a
it was,
shitbox game.
It was like 11:45. I remember walking out of Cody's, just walking down Barry, being like, "Dude, we're fucking
Yeah.
let's fucking
We
go.
may not win this division, we may not make the playoffs, but like we're gonna be like talked about.
Yep.
Like and
Watch
dude,
out for those guys.
from
No,
4-2
they're
to 4-10 to here comes 4-13, so fast, man.
OC fired, head coach fired.
That's the thing, dude, and that's where it's like you said, a couple of linemen. It's
I think they have systemic problems.
yeah,
No,
exactly.
That,
like they,
I want to make it. Obviously, they have to hire the right coach, which they're not going to do. We all know they're going to fuck that up. But on paper, it's right there for polls. From a player, but the defense
I
has
think
gone back, and Billings is.
That was
Like
a big loss.
we were
yeah.
talking. Ryan and I were talking in the stands today. Like the defense went to complete shit when Billings went down for the count.
But they just where has Montez Sweat been this year? Like they
That's
signed
a 5-year deal.
They signed him
That's a long deal.
and for big money
Yep.
to be a guy that is he's a scheme wrecker.
No,
he's a game plan wrecker. That's why you pay him. He hasn't done that. And you could talk about, well, they didn't get anything on the opposite side. Fine. But he's supposed to be able to beat double teams.
Yeah.
He's supposed to have double digit sacks automatic. He's a getting off the bus guy. Looks like a scary dude who's going to fuck up your day. He hasn't done any of that.
But that's a crazy thing, though. Okay, the Hail Mary happens. We put up 2 stinkers against Arizona and the Patriots.
Yep.
The team bounces back. They play 3 tough weeks against the Packers, the Vikings, and then that Lions game where a lot of it was self-inflicted coaching shit. And then they obviously they hated Eberflus. There was big dysfunction in the locker room, and they threw up probably maybe 2 of their worst games of the year.
Yeah, well,
that's why nothing makes sense.
And but that's where I feel like it's bigger than personnel.
Yeah.
I think it's like a culture thing, and this is I am reaching here on this, but I think there's like just a lack of focus. I don't have a stat. The Bears lead the league in drops. Like how many did Keenan Allen drop today?
He had to have 5 drop passes today.
He had a ton. Rome had a couple.
Rome had a touchdown, yeah.
DJ had a couple. And it was just like, I feel like, so Caleb is fighting for his life. And he's obviously not perfect either. He's not always accurate. He misses throws. He missed one to Keenan Allen, who was open for a touchdown in the third quarter. But it's like, when he puts it on you, you got to catch the ball. And these guys, like Keenan Allen's like known for like, he never drops passes. That's like what he is known for. Like being a good route runner and never dropping passes. He dropped probably more passes today than he did all of last year.
Yeah.
Like that's not an exaggeration.
And that's been a problem all year.
Correct.
With him and Rome. And DJ a little bit. It's brutal, man.
So that's where I'm like, these guys just like snap to snap are not like locked in. It's almost like they're anticipating Caleb getting murdered. So they're like, when the ball comes to them, they're surprised.
I think there's definitely something to that. Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't like.
When the ball's on him, it's like, oh shit, the ball's on me.
Yeah.
These guys made it seem like they like Thomas Brown. They sure as fuck don't seem like they're playing for
showing
him.
up for him.
And like Thomas Brown has 0 chance to get this job now.
Thank God.
0 chance to get this job.
Hey, you
now.
guys thought I was crazy for bringing that up, and then they played a little okay under him, and then people were whispering that.
Because
Thank fucking God.
I think people were whispering that because of who the owners are.
That's exactly why I brought it up in the first place. I didn't think that there was any reason to give that guy the job. I'm like, they might be dumb enough to do that.
Yeah. So thank God that's out the window.
Yeah. And then like Justin Jefferson drops like maybe the easiest touchdown pass.
Like
he got his revenge later.
Yeah, legit like the best receiver in football.
Yeah.
I like Vikings fans like, damn, like I'm like, imagine like being in a spot where you're not even mad about
because you know it's coming.
Yeah, because like you're playing an opponent who's so inferior. Mm-hmm. And that's what it was.
They'll score the next play.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Like, I was just so over it. I like credit to you guys. You guys stayed the seats the whole time. I went down to the fucking little center eating a soft pretzel, and I was like, I'm just watching this here.
I was mad at you for that.
Why?
Because like those were the best seats I've ever had in my life. Like I'm gonna sit there and watch 58 minutes of that game.
I was watching football. Football.
Not from the
Football's great on TV, man. It just is.
But come on, those seats were incredible.
They were great. I know.
Yeah.
They were great, and so are mine. Trust
they
me.
weren't. You could do that at Buffalo Wild Wings next weekend.
I'm telling you, they're great. We had the Vikings cheerleader stop by.
How was that?
That was nice.
Yeah.
Did you get a little tug job?
No, Dave. That's disrespectful.
Yeah.
No.
Just asking.
Yeah, I was just chatting with Bears fans. You know.
Yeah.
It was. It sucked, man, and I can't believe that we got to go back to Lambeau. And
I'm actually excited for Lambeau.
I mean, I like Lambeau, but like I just don't.
Yeah, we'll walk out of there. They'll sing "The Bears Still Suck."
Exactly.
The Bears still suck.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll be singing it with them. Not with them.
The Vikings were playing. By
I'll
the
be
way,
saying the Bears suck.
Yeah, Vikings fans were playing that at the pre-tailgate too.
Is that just like an NFC North song?
No.
Because this is the first
I've
time
only ever heard it from Packer fans. I didn't hear it at the tailgate.
That's
I heard it at
little-
the tailgate too.
That was a little bit of a stretch for Vikings fans to play that. We didn't. That wasn't. You know.
Yeah, they've never won shit.
Yeah, exactly. I never
Yeah.
won a Super
Yeah.
Bowl.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know, man. I'm very interested to see where this Vikings team goes from the rest of the year.
They do in the NFC.
Yeah, I mean, I like Darnold, and I think he's gonna be fine. Like a lot of people are like, Darnold's gonna be the kryptonite.
No,
He's gonna come back to life. He's not gonna be this guy.
Him and Jared Goff are the. I mean, obviously Goff's had success that Darnold's hasn't until this year, but like they're the same guy. They have a good offensive line, a good running game, a good defense. And they're a little better than just like the game managers.
Good situation.
They're perfect situation.
And it's like
That's almost a perfectly apt comparison because the only reason why it's not is because Goff actually had
Goff's
success.
Goff's been
Yeah.
to a Super Bowl obviously, and he's had a big He was a high even before he was the highest paid quarterback ever. Right?
yeah,
Yeah.
the Rams
And
made
for
him
a
that,
time-
and then
yeah,
he got
the
another
Rams did, right.
contract.
Yeah.
But like the Darnold thing, like his weapons are fucking awesome.
Yeah, absolutely right.
Like Hawkinson is super underrated. I feel like he's
Hawkinson's great.
very good
Addison's-
tight end. Jordan Addison,
awesome.
Is always
he's
open.
awesome.
Yeah.
He's always
And
open.
then you got the best receiver, and then
in the
a
league.
very good running back who's been there for
Yep.
5-7. How long has this
Aaron Jones?
been in the league?
Oh,
Probably
in the
closer to-
league, something like that.
Yeah, 5-7 years.
And they're not even like, I don't even think Hawkinson's worked in the offense like he should be because he was hurt for like the first 10 weeks of the year.
And it's like he's always going to be the third or fourth option.
Yeah, exactly. No, they
They're
built
fucking
their
good.
roster, and then their defense for the deficiencies that it has. Brian Flores
Dude,
just dials it up.
He does, and then it's like they lose to Neil Hunter, and then I forgot that they had Dallas Turner. Like he's a problem. He had a big sack today.
Yeah,
And it's just like they have dudes.
yeah. Harrison
They-
Smith sets the fucking tone for that
Yep.
defense. Like they're got like,
They got dudes.
and they're coached by a fucking awesome coach.
Kevin O'Connell,
Yeah, like I like the Vikings, man. I think the Vikings are legit.
You said that prior to the season started. I'm like, I don't know.
I did, and
Yeah.
I'm mad at myself. And you guys give me shit all the time, obviously for not digging my heels in. I'm mad at myself that I didn't boldly exclaim that as much
That's
as I
what you
did.
get for being a gigantic fucking pussy.
Because I remember sitting there at Barstool River North and watching their defense just fuck up Justin Fields time after time
Yeah.
again. Remember that the game where he hurt his
Yep.
hand
Yep.
or his finger, and being like, "Yo, this defense is good. Like they're fucking for real. Like they come after the quarterback."
They could absolutely. I mean, they are still Minnesota, so they will probably have their season end in heartache.
Yeah, facts.
That's why I'm just assuming it's going to be I was going to say the Phillies, the Eagles out of the NFC. Just because,
Yeah, there's
I mean,
3 12-2 teams.
I know.
I have a feeling that can the Lions keep this up with all these injuries? I feel like it's going to be very difficult.
right.
Yeah, it's
So
really
that's-
hard. Lions kind of got snake bitten, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say that like Detroit fans are gonna get mad at me for saying that, but
They know that's true.
They know.
no, but they're like
What's
very
his face
defensive.
from Michigan? Like obviously,
Hutchinson.
Hutchinson. Like that. When you lose your best player, that's a big deal.
Yeah,
And they lost him a long time ago, and they haven't lost really. But it's
they've
just
lost,
been like 10 guys on top of that.
I think they have like 4 defensive starters
Right.
from like the front 7 are out.
Right.
So
And the firepower of these fucking NFC offenses are just insane.
yeah.
Like you look at Detroit, you look at the Vikings, you look at the Eagles.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Barkley, Hurts, AJ Brown,
The Bama kid, Devonta
Devonta Smith. Like,
yeah.
dude, these fucking offenses are real. And that's where it's like, oh my god, these teams are fucking
And
great.
like we were very excited about our weapons, and rightfully so. Like on paper, Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, but like there's a gap between
Yeah.
the Eagles' weapons and the Bears' weapons.
Yeah, and then
for
the 49ers have had
We were way wrong.
a
about
very-
them. way fucking wrong. We were really. I got a couple stinks. I got to get off my Tremaine Edmonds. That guy stinks.
He's been bad.
He stinks. But he loafs. That's what pisses me off about him. I would like to see him get a late hit in the last
Yeah, he doesn't.
Show me you're flying to the ball.
He doesn't play with any bite.
No.
And I am starting to worry that he's a guy who maybe lost a half a step, who couldn't afford to lose one.
Doesn't have that side hip wiggle.
Yeah, like, and he's a guy who's supposed to be able to get vertical. You know, like, he plays in the middle because his arms are so long.
He's
but
an
like
inch off all night tonight.
tight ends are
Right.
just George Kittle ate him alive, and Hawkinson had a nice night tonight too. I know that there's
did.
Tremaine Edmonds had like the one PI on him too, and it's just like this team. That's
Darnell
what I mean.
Wright's
Like, I
almost
miss
on my
Roquan.
stink list.
I miss Roquan.
We're
Roquan's
tired.
like the best linebacker in football, and the Bears like we don't want to pay him. But then TJ Edwards and
I like TJ Edwards.
I do too. He had a big hit tonight.
Yeah.
But like you have those two guys and they make what, like 70% of what Roquan does. But give me
I think
if
it's
you're
more
playing,
than that.
I don't know. But give me Roquan and Jack
Lance?
Sanborn.
It's $4 million. What was the number you said?
On average, Tremaine Edmonds gets $2 million less than Roquan.
That's it.
Lance is saying Tremaine gets $2 million less than Roquan. He's gonna look into that. Well, he
Reality's
does.
looking.
I want to talk about Ghost.
The
Energize
Bears
the
need
holidays.
some more energy, Ed.
They do. Energize the holidays with Ghost. It's perfect to get you through holiday shopping. Like, Ghost, please just drop off cases to all these people's houses. Drop off a case of Tremaine Edmonds. Who else needs some energy on the Bears?
Can we
Montez
start with
Sweat?
Virginia?
Yeah, Virginia,
Yeah.
George. Yeah, there's a lot of people that need some energy on the Bears. Ghost, fully transparent, fully loaded, feel good energy, 0 sugars, no artificial flavors, 200 milligrams of natural caffeine, fully transparent label that actually showcases every ingredient amount of what's in the can, heightened focused, iconic flavors, Sour Patch Kids, Warheads, Swedish Fish, Welch's. Give it to the whole offensive line.
Yeah.
Like they need some juice.
I don't even know if they
need some
deserve
bite.
it.
Yeah.
It's true.
Ghost is for winners.
Yes, it is. So find Ghost Energy at your local grocery or convenience store today. For the full lineup of flavors, visit drinkghost.com. What was it?
So on average per year, it's 2 million difference.
Okay.
Yeah. So Tremaine Edmonds gets 18, Roquan gets 20. Roquan got a 5-year deal. Tremaine got 4.
Okay. So it's
There had to be signing bonus stuff in that then. Too.
guaranteed money is probably the big.
Yeah.
Roquan got a lot of guaranteed money. But Lance was right. It was a 2 year. It was $2 million difference. Tremaine got 4 years. Roquan got 5, but Roquan got a lot more guaranteed money. I think
And the
that's a big thing.
gap between Roquan and Tremaine is
Sizable.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's yeah. Nothing
he's in
to
a better
smile
place.
about.
I'm happy for our guy Ro.
I am too. Nothing to smile about in our lives.
Yeah.
Anything else? Like I said.
Yeah, I got something to smile
Yeah.
about. Can we shift gears?
Yeah. Shift it.
Tucker,
Yeah.
Cubs.
Yes.
Like we should talk about that.
Oh,
Yeah. No.
I
I'm in.
thought you were on like Tucker, like Justin
I was-
Tucker, like what?
No.
What Tucker? I don't know no Tuckers.
Chris Tucker's shooting another Rush Hour. That's what you thought.
I like Rush Hour. Rush Hour 3. I like that one. Not a lot. Everybody hates that one. I feel like, but I liked Rush Hour 3.
Hey. Yeah. Kyle Tucker, big signing.
Huge.
Listen, I'd be lying if I said I was watching a ton of Astros baseball, but the way people are talking about him is that like, hey,
He's a fucking stud.
yeah, and a lot of people are like, everyone's sucking off Juan Soto. They're like, I think Kyle Tucker might be better
Nah,
He's
no,
better
no, no, no.
defensively.
because of that. And that's why
He's a stud outfielder.
Yeah.
He's an awesome outfielder.
He had 23 bombs in 77 games.
He
last year.
steals bases. He is a fucking stud. He's like 10th best player in baseball, maybe.
He's the best player
10th,
they've
12th.
had since
He is
MVP Chris Bryant.
that is absolutely true.
Yeah.
He's a fucking stud.
and
He's a
that's
fucking stud.
that's
He's
some-
so unassuming though. He got like a ugly,
Yeah,
gross
he
swing.
does.
Doesn't wear batting gloves. He's like
been injured a little bit.
a little bit.
last year. Yeah, yeah.
He's a fucking stud though.
Yeah.
He is awesome.
No, I'm excited for him. And
Me
I think,
too.
Yeah, just like the theory of why they did this makes sense.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
like they're not willing to open up the checkbook for these big ticket free
Well, they're
agents.
gonna have
Fucking
to do it.
stupid.
But now it's like this guy comes in and rips it up.
They
And
have
you don't
to pay
fucking
him.
re-sign him.
Well, then you gave away.
Oh, he's staring down 300+ million.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Staring at
People don't think it's crazy. That, like he might get like the
4 or 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Depends
based
on
off what
if he
Soto's
has an
getting.
MVP year. Yeah,
I mean, how old is he? 28?
27, I think.
If
Yeah.
that, yeah.
Yeah, but this is like when the Cubs, not last year, but the year before, and Bellinger had his resurgence. It was like he was like a scary bat.
He's about to turn 28.
kind of a scary bat. But the Cubs last year, they just never had a guy that could carry him. Like Kyle Tucker's a guy that can carry. He can just be like all those 1-run games they lost last year. Like he might just hit a bomb.
He's exactly what they need. The
Yeah.
Cubs had a lot of really solid players,
Right, no stars.
But they just had no stars.
yeah, he's a bona fide star.
And listen, you plant a star in between some really solid players, you might get like a fringe star out of one of those other
uptick,
guys.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So that's what I'm most excited about. It's going to make everyone around them better. Like
And
Ian Happ's going to be better for this.
Say
know?
it will be better if he accepts a DH role, which sounds like he doesn't really want to.
Well, he should.
He should, because he gets hurt playing the field all the
Yes,
fucking time,
and
he's
he's
not
like-
really that great in the field.
No, he's not.
So
He's not at all.
right, so you Hap, PCA, Tucker is a hell of an outfield.
That's it, man.
Yeah,
Hopefully, I mean, it'd be great if we could strike someone with Dansby here if he gets going again.
I mean, but that's another ripple effect. Like maybe he gets him going.
Yeah.
You know, so if Dansby's hitting 6th, that's pretty fucking good.
No, yeah, it was a fucking great move. Obviously, I'm blanking on the first round pick we gave up. That's who everyone's like,
The Florida State kid.
Yeah, that might be scary to give up.
I think it's like you have to give up something to get something, and it's only scary if they don't re-sign him.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
know, if they don't re-sign him, then it's like you guys are fucking morons.
Like I don't care about Paredes at all.
No,
You shouldn't.
Yeah.
It's
You shouldn't.
essentially Marmol.
And he's a good player.
Fucking, why am I blanking on his name? Who's the guy we traded for him?
Oh,
The electric guy, but he was like fucking.
Now
why the fuck
Castillo.
can't I remember his name?
no, the
said
Hispanic
Carlos
guy.
Marmol.
Yeah, Castillo. Juan Castillo. What's
No,
the fucking
damn
name?
it.
This has been a long day.
It has.
It's after midnight.
He's Jorge Soler kind of.
No, we're not looking it up. We're not looking it up. We know this
He's
fucking
electric. There's a lot of electric shit with the bat in his hands.
Christopher Morel.
Christopher Morel, yes.
Christopher Morel.
So then you're
Can
gonna
I tell you
Morel.
something?
Yeah.
I had it like 15 seconds ago.
Did you?
It was- yeah.
Yeah. So essentially, we gave up Morel, and Wisniewski's been super inconsistent.
Yeah, and Wisniewski's like the 7th starter. He's
Exactly,
like a long relief guy.
So yeah, literally, that's a concern as they give up this third baseman, who is a first rounder that a lot of people are high on. But you're right, you do got to give up shit to get shit. So
you better just pay Kyle Tucker though.
You have to.
You have to.
Absolutely have to. And I love that it's going to turn the screws on the Ricketts to make this happen.
And while I'm sure this Florida State kid is great, they did draft a guy who could play third base in Shaw the year before, 8th overall or whatever out of Maryland. So,
So you assume he's going to slide in there.
Yeah.
Unless, I don't know.
They're not done.
Yeah, but they're not going to go out and sign Bregman or something.
No.
That's what they should do.
Yeah.
But it's crazy the Astros are kind of just like, this is it.
Yeah, they're
kind of
wild.
doing what the Cubs
That was
did.
that was a good 12-year stretch they had. That was good. That was an awesome 12-year
stretch.
stretch.
They really didn't pay anyone besides fucking.
No, I saw a stat today. It was teams that have not spent over 150, and I think their highest contract ever is 150 on the dot. I want to say for
Altuve.
Altuve,
Yeah, because they let Correa walk, they let Springer walk, they let Garrett Cole walk, and then obviously they traded Tucker. And they're probably going to let Bregman walk. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
A lot of people are shitting on that owner. So,
I mean,
in owner talk, Houston Astros, we feel you.
Yeah, but they got their World Series. They were good for a long time.
Don't fucking say that.
Say what?
That's not an excuse to mail it in moving forward. That's what the Cubs are doing.
No.
Now.
But listen for a second, because Jed, there was a time like Jed gave like a pretty competitive offer for Chris Bryant. Like moving on from that core was ultimately, in hindsight, the right move.
Yeah,
sure. Like if they had paid Rizzo, Baez, and Bryant, they would have been fucked. So I wonder if the Astros are just looking around corners. It was like, we might get 2 more years out of these guys, but we'll never get the value that we're going to get now, and we'll be able to rebuild it quicker. I think that's got to be the thing.
They're starting a new timeline.
No, they've definitely earned the benefit of the doubt,
right?
And they'll probably be back sooner than later. But
yeah, it sucks, but that's just the way it is. But yeah, that's like one positive thing. Like I was very down on the Cubs in general. Now I might try to.
Cubs fans should be fucking irate with them.
Now I might go try to break my hot dog record again.
Yeah, like that. I mean, Jed. Like a lot of people have been really like, Jed, what the fuck?
Yeah,
like you're one of the only people here that we know has some type of competence.
Yeah,
and like, what are you doing?
And
that was a fucking big balls move. So I love it.
It was a big balls move, and I also wonder if he's looking at Ian Happ's over 30. Say is over 30. Dansby's over 30. So it's like their like rebuilt core is not really young.
No, and you couldn't run that back. You just can't. Like they just had too many guys who were good, not great.
I think Jed's out of time is my point.
Yeah.
So if they do the same thing this year, he's probably fired.
Probably.
Yeah.
It just that would have been insanity to run that back for a third time.
Yeah,
it would have been insanity. You know what that core was.
Mm-hmm.
Now you get a guy like this. Maybe he shakes up everything else. See what you can get for Bellinger.
Yep.
And
Bellinger to the Yankees or something.
Exactly.
And there was rumors that they're going after another like frontline starting pitcher from Seattle too.
Yeah.
Like one of those arms.
Yeah.
So
those are good arms.
Yeah.
You see what having Tuck in that lineup does for everyone around them.
Yep.
And I'm hopeful.
Yeah.
Opening day's gonna be fun this year.
Yeah, it will be. Yeah. I'm genuinely excited because like we said last year, that division, like they should be able to like flex their muscles a little bit, and this is the first time since the last core that they ever really did that. Because Theo did that. He went out and got the closer. He went out and got John Lester. He went out and got Hayward, which didn't work out. But he spent and put his
That's
nuts.
still their biggest contract in history.
Yeah, but he put his nuts on the table for that core that he built, and now they're with Tucker. Hopefully, they're kind of doing that again.
Yeah, you hope so. So yeah, credit to Jed.
Mm-hmm.
I like the move. I don't think unless you're one of those people that just loves to hoard prospects, that's the only way you can't love it. So I'm happy about that. And then I saw you the happiest you've been over the Hawks.
Yeah, I mean they're playing better. They're playing a lot better under Anders. So Anders Sorensen, the new coach. So they beat the Islanders yesterday on Sunday, 5-4, something like that, 5-3. Nazar's up. He deserved to be up. He hasn't really done much yet production wise, but he can fucking fly and he's got skill. Bedard the last week, 10 days is really kind of starting to put up numbers and be a more productive player and a more dangerous player. And he's attacking through the middle where when he was really struggling, everything is just sitting on the outside. It's dude, you're never going to be a good player playing. You have to go at guys and challenge guys and just try to beat them. And now he is kind of doing that. And they changed the system a little bit. So they played the system where they're just always on the back foot, by design. And nobody, it's hard to have confidence playing like that. And so now they switch it up. They're more aggressive. Everybody's more aggressive. Bertuzzi looks better. Teravainen looks better. Everybody looks better. They're not a good team. But there is a little glimmer of there's something to latch onto here, hopefully for the future.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, while we're in the shit pot of talking about organizations, credit to them for actually making that Richardson move.
Yeah.
Right? That's.
And Davidson cried in the press conference. He was so upset because Richardson is known as he's a great guy, but he was just out over his skis, and this is year 3, and they wanted, Davidson said, hey, we want to take a step forward. And I do think that they got so run over in transition last year that Richardson was I got to change that. We're not going to do that. So they're going to play this 1-2-2 kind of, we're going to slow everything down and just try to give up less chances. And it just fucked everything they were trying to do going the other way. So now playing this different way, guys are playing more loose, more confident, and attacking. And that's what you want to see.
Good. And then we didn't get into Crochet yet on the show. So big trade for the White Sox.
The feelings while the White Sox are in relatively similar positions now versus 8 years ago when they traded Sale, the feelings I have amongst both trades are polar opposites. I understood it at the time with Chris Sale. I was fully on board with that. That's the way baseball was starting to operate. What the Cubs just did it, the Astros, a bunch of teams were building with prospects from the ground up, and it seemed like the White Sox were doing that. Obviously, it didn't happen. Fast forward to this year, the only reason they traded Garrett Crochet, who I think is just an absolute freak on the mound. I say this with when you watch him pitch, there's nothing going on in his head other than get ball, throw ball. He's like a fucking caveman up there. And that's the best thing you want to be as a pitcher. And they traded him for 4 prospects that, I don't know, they might be good, they might not. They traded him because they know that they're going to have to pay him $400 million. They would have had to in 2 years. That's why they traded him. It was never about jumpstarting a rebuild. It was because of dollars and cents. And it all goes back to Jerry Reinsdorf, and he's Satan.
I know this,
and I can't wait until that fucker no longer owns the White Sox.
I know this is a tenuous topic for you, but let me just ask 2 things. One, there could be some truth to that. He didn't want to be here.
Crochet?
Right? Yeah.
No, why would he? Who the
but that's what I'm
fuck
saying.
wants to play for them, Ed?
No, you're right. I know, and I think when you heard that when that leaked before the end of the season where he wasn't going to play. What was that? Remember that?
Yeah, he said that if he wasn't extended, then he wasn't going to pitch. Yeah,
to
if
me,
he was traded, yes.
A lot of this reeked like there was a lot going on behind the scenes as well, which is not a good reflection of the White Sox organization either. Don't get me wrong, but it just seemed like the situation was going to come to a head either one way or another.
Whether all that matters is that they had a guy that just had 250 strikeouts in 130 innings, controlled for 2 more years for fucking nothing. The guy that you drafted, and you're we got to trade him because he's going to be expensive. That's all that matters. Like, I don't care about what happened at the trade deadline when he said that he's not pitching in the playoffs unless there's I don't care about all that. It's Jerry Reinsdorf and how he operates. I'm at the point where I think he is just biding time until his death and a new CBA, and he's just like, I'm out on the spending. Like, it's gotten too big. Like, he's watching what just happened with Soto. He's watching what happened with Ohtani last year. He's like, I'm not having a part of this reckless spending. I'll wait it out until my time comes, and like the CBA and whoever owns the White Sox after me can handle it. That's where that's the only thing that makes sense in my head right now.
You have any thoughts on the trade?
On the trade, on paper, it's probably like they got 4
good prospects.
Good prospects for him. That kid out of Texas A&M looks like he might rake, but who gives a fuck?
You've heard that before.
I've seen this movie before. Fuck them.
When there's so many holes.
There's a billion.
I know.
It's
but
like
that doesn't make you excited a little bit more.
They sent out a tweet the other day, and it's like with the White Sox now, I think it's 6 prospects in the top 60, and it was like they're like trying to get the fan base excited, and then every response is the Cubs have 7, the Cubs have 7, the Cubs have 7 in the top 60.
Really?
Yeah. So it's like, yeah, their farm's a little better now than it was a week ago or whenever the trade, but it's not like, holy fuck, this farm's so good, they're going to be so fucking good in a few years.
What was it on paper? I know it didn't work out with Moncada and all those guys, but was that class of prospects considered like better?
Moncada was supposed to be like a superstar.
Yeah, right, like an MVP kind of guy.
Yeah.
But like, so the prospects they have now don't get you as excited as, and like try to take the White Sox out of it. Like if they were in a different system, would you be like, oh,
I can't take the White Sox out of it.
Yeah.
However, I have seen a lot of people saying that the White Sox, they did very good.
Okay.
They did very well with the trade.
Mm-hmm.
Like Kylie McDaniel said so. He's a big prospects guy. Eric Logan, however you say his last name. Like a bunch of guys that said the White Sox did great. However, like at this juncture, after they traded Sale 8 years ago, almost to the day.
Yeah.
At this juncture, I don't care. Like, I know Garrett Crochet is a fucking Cy Young caliber pitcher. I know that for a fact because I just watched it with my own 2 eyes. I don't know about any of those, and I don't trust that any of the assholes that acquired them know that either.
Them too.
So fuck them. And I'll wrap that up. To kind of put a bow on it all, I thought David Kaplan's rant was outstanding the other day, like 3-4 days ago with Jay Hood.
I did see it. Summarize it for us.
It wasn't too dissimilar to what you had a month or 6 weeks ago. It's just saying fuck all the owners. It's like obviously Cap's a Cubs fan. And he's like he was bitching, like not bitching about Jerry Reinsdorf, calling Jerry Reinsdorf out. Calling out the Ricketts, calling out the Wirtz, calling out the McCaskies. And he's like, what have we as Chicago done to deserve this? Like the Bears just picked, had the first pick 2 years in a row, and they're going to pick, very high again this year. The White Sox, worst team in history. The Cubs just won't spend to get over the top. The Bulls are in la-la land, and the Blackhawks are the worst team in hockey.
Yeah.
What do we do to deserve this?
That's the craziest part is I kind of think there might be an argument that the Bulls are in the worst spot.
I think, yeah.
There might be an argument. Listen, I know. You're not wrong for making that face at me, but like,
do you want to bet that you can name the stakes if you want that the Bulls have a playoff win before the Sox?
But that
doesn't matter.
Oh, okay, you're right. You're right. No,
I think it's
formulate it however you want. The White Sox will outbad the Bulls. I will take what the White Sox on that bet 1,000 times out of 1,000. You can name the price.
I do think it is harder to build a true championship contender in the NBA than the other sports.
Yeah.
And because like if you don't have a LeBron, if you don't have like one of the top 3 guys and then 2 other all-stars. But you can have
a LeBron in baseball and then not do shit.
Dave, it's not about outbatting them. It's about out-mediocring them, which is the worst spot you could be in the NBA.
Right.
I understand that.
And that's why it sucks. Like, there was that graphic going around I don't know if we even touched that yet. Did we talk about that yet?
I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about.
About every coach has been fired, or the second longest tenured coach is Craig Counsell.
13 months.
Literally, every coach has been fired this calendar year. Besides, even like the
Even
fire,
the Sky and the Fire.
Red Bulls, the Sky, everyone. Billy Donovan's the only one who did not.
Yeah.
My take right now, I don't think Billy Donovan is the coach of the Bulls next year. I think he resigns.
Yeah.
He is too good of a coach
to be mired in this.
Yes.
Yeah.
I truly don't understand how Billy Donovan could be happy coaching this team.
What's he making?
Probably pretty decent.
Yeah.
And I like Billy Donovan.
Me too.
There's no disrespect to him. It's like, it's not you, it's us.
Right.
It's one of those kind of things.
Go be free.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'll put it behind that. I could see him leaving.
Yeah.
He left the Thunder on his own accord.
$6 million a year.
Yeah.
He left the Thunder for the Bulls.
I wonder if he regrets leaving Florida.
No, I think he got 2 back-to-back. I don't know. Maybe
you just don't you could have been a Dean Smith, Coach K. You could have been one of these guys.
Yeah.
That is there for 30, 40 years, and you're just Izzo.
But his name's already on the court. Did you know that?
No, I knew that. Yeah, I knew that. But, I don't know. That's something that I think is cool about college basketball, which it doesn't really – he would have been the last guy to kind of do that because Boeheim's gone, Calhoun's gone, Coach K's gone. He would have been – Jay Wright retired.
Yeah.
Billy Donovan would have been the man in college basketball.
Now it sounds like Hurley's going to be that guy, though.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
He's not going to leave. I think all that Lakers stuff is bullshit. I think his buddy Woj was.
Hey, actually, on that, Northwestern beat Illinois.
There you go.
I got
Nice.
right?
There you go.
I got
Big
something.
conference plays already started?
Yeah.
That's
and
weird.
they should be 2-0, and fucking Iowa hit a 3-pointer, 0.3 seconds left to
I'll
win.
start watching after the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Kind of.
I think.
I think DePaul was off to a good start, too.
Yeah, DePaul's they played Northwestern this week.
Just make this a college basketball
Yeah.
show.
Don't count it out, though, man. Maybe he'll go back there.
Who?
Billy.
To where? To Florida?
Yeah, then he slides right
What
in.
if he goes to DePaul?
Can't go home again.
Nah, they got fucking Holtzman. DePaul's in the up.
Yeah.
DePaul's in the up.
We'll talk about it later.
What do you got?
We'll talk about it the next episode.
All right.
Notre Dame.
Oh, yes.
But we'll talk about that next episode. 'Cause
Yeah,
that'll come out
Friday interview
before the
episode.
game.
We're gonna be
Yeah.
we're gonna be talking to someone Notre Dame wise.
Mm-hmm.
Notre Dame, Indiana. I'm fucking pumped.
I'm very excited for
Friday
that game.
night playoff. It's gonna be sick.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
Yeah. So we'll get into that on Friday, and
Oh, it
maybe
snows.
even cover some of the other games that are on Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey.
And we'll be streaming.
Yeah, we'll be streaming.
Yeah.
Hey, 3 weeks left.
Just
3 weeks left.
Grate your
everyone.
teeth.
Grate your teeth and
Bow your
fucking
neck
get
and
done.
just get the fuck out of here.
Hopefully, Caleb's intact by the end of them.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Everyone does. All right. That's it. That's the stretch. We'll see you guys on Friday.